I'll be going through the desert in the East Mesa to poachers, if they're out here today, who killed a number of Swainson hawks on the New Mexico State University campus. And we're here in the East Mesa, and about 3 have been reported as killed on the East Mesa along by an open range cattle rancher are dead here in the East Mesa. Well, the remains are gone. They grab the meat and they leave the skeletons. So didn't they used to hang cattle rustlers in the past? If you care about hawks being shot by 12 gauge shotguns and you care about cattle rustling, please leave a comment, leave a like here as we go live on the East Mesa, and we try to understand, hey, what's been happening here? Can it be different? Anything about it? That's what we're going to do. Now I've switched to a front view, and go back to a back view. You can, at least I hope. Let's see. Okay, is one of my cattle dog bear, and the other one. Where is she? She's laying down back here. Also a Scottish sheepdog. And they've been scared to come out, and so I'm pretty sure nobody's firing 12 gauge shotguns right now, but we can go down to where they reported to be. And so stay tuned. So let me switch views and let's do some walking in the desert. That's always a fun thing to do. Time to put away my drum. So let me see while I put away the drum. Observe the ground here under a tree where I'm sitting. So just stay tuned for just a second while I gather my stuff, and I'll be right back with you. So if you're out there, let me know, leave a comment, leave a like. Like to interact with you. Maybe you can help me in some way to get a hold of these poachers and have a little talk with them. You know, I'm a veteran. I'm used to guns and gunfire, and 12 gauge shotguns scare me here. So let's back out the top here. Pulling on my hand there through the branches. It kind of hurts. All right, let's go this way. Okay. You're loose. Just stay with me. Puppies. Okay. Come on. Come on. That boy. Cuddle bear. What's called a blue. And this one is a short-haired pointer. Dogs, they're wonderful, but they're scared to death if anybody finds shotguns. I wonder why. A lot of that has been going on, but it's stopped recently because I've been doing daily walks and searches. Poach the peak, and there's not as many. Also, the hawks who used to live here seem to be gone. We might take a walk and show you some of the skeletons. A number of YouTubes and TikToks online already showing you that. Oh, wait. Good boy. So let's pick up the pace here. We're going to go down. The gas road here is called the gas line road because there's a line a little bit to the west of us. Just before you get to the ranch and run down the high castle semi there. And in the distance, in the far distance, is a big tank. I think it's a kind of a natural gas tank. I know they're plumbing up the gas all around here in Los New Mexico. The question is this, let's go. What is your natural gas in New Mexico? Others have banned it. It's really unhealthy for people in houses that link up to natural gas. States say, hey, it's no problem. We got it covered. So, what is the truth out here? I am with a group called True Storytelling. We have a book called True Storytelling by Jens Larsen, Lena Brun from Denmark, and myself from here in the United States. And we try to help universities, corporations, government agencies, nonprofits engage in true storytelling. Wouldn't that be refreshing? Haven't we had enough of a decade of fake storytelling, fake news, fact checkers of both political parties? I'm over. Look at their party. I don't think it makes much difference which party you're looking at. Come on, let's go. Now, we may lose reception time to time. We'll see. Further west here, in the direction I'm walking, there were a pair of Swainson hawks that inhabited a hackberry tree like the one I was sitting under, but bigger and older. And they were able to, let's go. Come on, this way. We'll go down and over. So the person pretending, or maybe he was a volunteer for the fishing warden, the wildlife warden in New Mexico, said that several hawks at New Mexico State camps have been poached. That means they're dead. Come on, this way. This way. Don't play in the garbage. So we're going to go down this hill into what's called the Alameda Arroyo. If you want to look on your map, there is a bird, but that is not a Swainson hawk. Just a lonesome dove. So as we go down here, you're going to lose reception for a while, but I'll be back on. Get to the other side of the Alameda Arroyo on about 60 seconds. Sparkle, beautiful that she is, athletic, loves to play, and Cuddle Bear, who's more like a guard dog. Just sits by the day at night at the door, waiting for the mailman to show up so he can bark at him. Yeah, that's his job, to protect us in the house from the mailman. Bark at people shooting guns, tends to just lay on the ground and refuses to move. Sparkles, on the other hand, whenever there's gunfire, she just comes up and to me, and she is shaking, just completely shaking. Her whole body is just shaking and shivering and shivering and shivering. And it takes half an hour for her to calm down. I think we still have reception. I'm still seeing the screen here. So every 2.5 miles is a territory of Swainson hawks. They migrate from Mexico, Central America, South America, head all the way up Canada. And this time of year, they're building nests. They mate as a pair, and they'll be building the nest. They'll hatch a few eggs. The fledglings will crack open the eggs. The parent, mama and papa, will bring food for them. And you don't want between the hawks and the fledglings. They will dive bomb you. And they've been known to take some hair. Your scalp might get a little bloody, but you'll live. Okay, don't get too far ahead, okay? I know you can't shotguns, but could be somebody just sitting in line waiting to shoot. So let's just be careful out here. Okay, so we're looking for poachers today out here on the East Mesa. I guess I'm what they call a citizen scientist. I'm a is actually a riverbed that only runs with water in it when there's a monsoon. And that's where the wetlands gets all of its water, just about all of it, 95% of it, during the monsoon season. And if we were walking here in the monsoon, the water is so raging, it would pull us off our feet and we would drown. So it's very dangerous. My neighbors warn me all the time, do not walk on this path when it looks like it's going to rain, because it happens very fast, and you might not even have any rain overhead, but it's rained up in the Oregon mountains up ahead of us, all the way between New Mexico State University campus. Then there's some dams to protect Las Cruces from floods during the monsoon season, and these arroyos run all the way to the Oregon mountain. Now what's ironic is rich people in New Mexico will just defend the peaks up there, and but pay no attention at all to the rest of the East Mesa. And there's a lot of aquifer. People move to New Mexico because gated communities surrounded by a big stone wall, an entry gate, and a guard. And they've built houses that don't look anything adobe houses of the period that Las Cruces is faced. This way. Come on, Cuddle Bear. Good dog. Good Sparkle. Keep her looking. And pretends here. Here, and they say, yeah, the real estate's a little cheaper, and we can build the same 2x4 houses we have. Or you can also go upscale and get 2x6 framing, or you can get rammed earth. Stuff is like super expensive, and you can get the photovoltaics. You can have in floor munition to shoot cattle and shoot down hawks here. There's an international treaty, by the way, of countries to protect migrating birds. Because when I put them, everybody's all up. It's like, let's go get them. Let's hang the bastard. And that's the kind of comments I get generations after generations. And that means matter. You can go here and rip the down, pick up trucks, scratching this up, Jeeps, ATVs, you know, the sort of thing to do, and firing guns and drinking beer and drinking vodka, tequila, whatever. People who tell me, I start to talk this, I say, get a fucking life, coach, you get a fucking life. And I'll go like, yeah, I will when they stop shooting cattle and shooting hawks and scaring myself to death so they won't come here like on this walk today. And there's no hawks in this time of year. Should be hawks in the sky. Okay, there should be a pair every 2.5 miles all across New Mexico, building nests, gathering food, plumping up, getting ready to cellular reception in New Mexico. Did you know so the Native American tribes in New Mexico on the reservation still don't have towers, still don't have those connections of electricity. Homes laying prone on the ground, unmovable. So that's what we're looking at here in the East Mesa, is catching poachers, trying to find the last remaining hawks and the cattle of the rancher a bit south of here that runs open range and lets the cattle just roam up here toward the neighbor. My trusty two dogs, they can't hear any kind of shotgunning today, so they're pretty excited to be out here in the desert without there being tot 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 tot. That's from the bump stocking, where they put the shotgun to their shoulder, and it's got a special device in it where they can, every time it hits the shoulder, loads another round, and boom, boom, fires automatically. It just sounds like pop, 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 pop. But right now, let me show you how close we are from where we saw the 100 rounds of 12 gauge shotguns. You can see an A-frame there. There's another double wide, and that opens up the unpaved part of Dunn Drive. And we'll be walking up here, the two dogs, and put them back on the leash so they don't get to run free once we get to the top. Come on, this way. This way, we're gonna go up. So we're go up and out of the Alameda Arroyo. You should have some good reception now. Just to recap, Mexico State University as a levee had poachers there that have killed at least 3 Swainson hawks. If the administration is encouraging this, or there's just a lax vigilance there on the part of the facilities, I think, as I was saying, the hawks have been coming here since before the university built its land, built on land that was granted to them and water granted to them. Originally belonged to the tribes, like Tortuga Mountain. It's around here. See that mountain looks like a shell. It's named Tortuga, which is Spanish for turtle. And the land rights of those indigenous peoples have been erased, appropriated. Their rights to, hey, don't run ahead. Sparkles, little bear, come here. Should have put him on the leash. Stop, wait. I know you're happy to be out. That a girl, that a boy. Wait right, don't move. Notice how they to me when there's a bush to sniff, you know. I love it how dogs are happy all the time. They're happy to be alive, they're happy to eat, to poop, happy to pee. She's about ready to squat again. Cuddle bear, sit, wait. He's much too energized. There, I got hands on both their leashes. They're gonna be well. Sorry about tipping the camera. Okay, we do the panoramic here. Off in the distance, you see a little white, says no dumping. It's behind a bunch of bushes. I never see it, nobody. So dumpers come out here, people shooting guns. They say, oh, I'm on the BLM property, but you have no signs. You just need to get caught. And you don't even need to get caught red-handed. They can fingerprint your casings, have camber shots, and that's... Maybe we should have had somebody actually apprehended. We should not elect those judges there, because you got a lookout. You got two lookouts. They're signaling each other by cell phone. They're saying, oh, somebody's coming. It looks like there's somebody coming. Oh, I heard there's a camera out. We better not go out today till we find the camera and smash it. And then they go look for the camera. They smash it. When they're caught, if that ever happens, when they're apprehended on cell phone, they say, well, that wasn't me. I was out trying to protect the hawks. I was out trying to catch the cattle rustlers. And that's why I love the book storytelling that I wrote, Jens Larson and Lena Brun. And I'm not promoting the book right now. I mean that I want to break from all storytelling and the lies that the poachers are telling. And yeah, I get it that New Mexico's the Wild West and anything goes. But you just land out here. Most people say, oh, that's the Bureau of Land Management. No, it's not. There's a small acre over there. It's Bureau of Management. And the it is Department of Interior, run by the state land office, who leaves the land to the lowest bidder. And it's usually a developer now who's going to develop more suburbs. And you see, come back here 5 years from now, there's all these suburbs. You remember when Pillapoo, the developer, was double the size of Las Cruces and developed the land from that school bus up? And it was going to increase the population by 200,000. And the construction industry was all gaga, not Lady Gaga, just gaga. And the university was, oh, we're going to get more people. I know you can't hear me. The wind of New Mexico is raging. So this is probably a good time to wrap it up. And bye. But if you see those Swainson hawks, be sure to do something about it, okay? And we really hope that you will engage. Yeah, I don't see a button here. So I'll just keep talking until we can get into some dark area of the garage. So while I was a professor at New Mexico State University for over 20 years, I would go out and film the hawks and make sure the university wasn't killing them. And I was just starting to investigate the ones on the golf course when I was said, why don't you retire, Boji? You're kind of a nuisance around here. And I said, yeah, but I've been, a top teacher, a creativity award. I got the Regent's chair. That's the accoladed MSU. They said, we don't really care about that. We can hire somebody that's like in their 20s instead of an old fart and pay them like a third of your salary, put them on contract, and they know they're going to jump the hoops and they're going to do exactly what we say, and they're not going to post videos about Swainson hawks. And I said, oh, okay. So that's the way universities are run these days. And if you know anybody that's an adjunct professor, you know that they are doing 2-3 jobs at a time, and they have to have several jobs in order. Let me switch. The dog's got me wrapped up. Let's see how I can get around here. Okay, this way. Isn't that the way when you got them on a leash? Two dogs is always wrapping around your legs. But they like a separate leash, like to they're together, because one will try to dart ahead, the other one off its feet. They got very different tempers. Love them to death. I mean, like they're happy in the morning, happy to eat, happy to go out when there are people firing shotguns. Sorry about all the noise. That's from the wind. It's getting very deep here. It's another reason shooters. They go out when the weather's tight, it's warm enough or slightly cool, not a lot of wind. There's no reports of the game wardens being around. And I talked to the BLM ranger. He said, yeah, I'll come out and enforce something as soon as Las Cruces or Doña County decides what they want to do. But right now they don't have agreements. For now it's live and let live. That means people can do what they want to do, and there's no enforcement. Try calling them yourself and see what reaction you get. It's funny because they have not spent $100 to invest in new maps on the wall of an office where they have the code enforcers for the city, and what that means is they're using maps that are 20 years out of date. They don't understand what the difference between the city limits and metropolitan city limits are. They don't understand the difference between BLM land, Department of Interior State Land Office land. And so citizens, you can understand, they all think they're on BLM territory where anything goes. They can go out and do target practice. But I've actually talked to fish, wildlife, and game, and they say you cannot go out doing target practicing. You need to go to the target in the West Mesa and do your practicing. And if you got a gun, it needs during and you're shooting it, you can carry, because it's sealed here in New Mexico, so I don't want a bunch of comments about that. But you need to have a hunting fishing license and be in season. So love you all. Take it easy. Bye for now.